the open borders that allow these people to come in and take advantage of Americans like this. He's a sanctuary state. It's sanctuary cities, so ICE can't get in there and do the work that they need to do. So nobody's buying it, Governor. And then to utter the word Donald Trump as if he had anything other than cleaning up the mess that this guy made. Donald Trump has nothing to do with this. His words are not dangerous. He's pointing out the obvious. He wants to deport the people and hold other people accountable.
This didn't happen by accident. It happened under Democrat rule. Millions of dollars meant to feed hungry children in Minnesota were allegedly stolen and spent on luxury cars, mansions, and designer lifestyles, while a Democrat governor and Democrat-run agencies failed to act. Democrats love to talk about helping kids, but when it came time to protect them, they completely dropped the ball. Tonight, we expose how Democrat leadership enabled one of the most shocking fraud schemes in America.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz today addressing an evolving fraud scandal in his state as new documents show just how scammers spent millions of dollars that was intended for hungry kids. What did they spend it on? Private villas, champagne, outdoor hot tubs, plunge pools, and more. Correspondent Alexis McAdams reports live from New York City with more. Wow, this is just disgusting to the max.
It is disgusting, and it's also money that was stolen from taxpayers. So most of the people you talk to, John, I don't know if you've ever been, but I've never been to the Maldives. I'd like to go, but that's exactly where prosecutors say a group of Somali immigrants were taking your tax dollars and spending it there on the life of luxury. They were flying around the world, buying cars, champagne, you name it, and it was all on your dime. So this is who we're talking about. This is Abdimajad Mohammed Nur. He's going to spend the next 10 years in federal prison after investigators say he, who was living in Minnesota, took part in a $48 million COVID-19 pandemic. This was a meal fraud scam. So they spent hundreds of millions of dollars that were meant to feed hungry American kids. Those kids didn't get the meals that this was meant for. Prosecutors say stacks of cash that you're looking at like this were just blown on luxury cars for waterfront properties out in Minnesota, some nice cars, and then this private villa in the Maldives. Prosecutors were showing these video clips in court, John, of the fraudsters popping champagne bottles during their luxury getaway. You can see it's decorated for, I guess, a honeymoon. Investigators say the men were happy to be cashing in. They were texting each other, "You're going to be the richest 25-year-old, saying God willing. What is being called the largest fraud scheme in history? It happened on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's watch. And today, the Democrat who did run for vice president launched a fraud prevention program. Might be a little late. The White House says he failed his state and his country.
Donald Trump brought this to the attention like this is something brand new. This is not brand new, and it's been being worked on, but he made it white hot and very dangerous.
And it doesn't stop there. The defendants like this guy, Abdizadaz Shafil Farah, sent millions of stolen American tax dollars overseas. They wired it to Chinese and Kenyan banks. So this is a wild story. It's far from over, John. The U.S. Treasury Department is investigating now if this money went to fund the Al-Shabaab militant group in Somalia. It's really crazy.
I mean, considering all the things that it went to, it wouldn't surprise me if it went to Al-Shabaab as well. Alexis, thanks for the update. Wow, that's really incredible. Thanks. Jackie?
Let's bring in Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz for more on this incredible story. Jason, I appreciate you coming on. I want to play for you, just to start us off, what the governor said today regarding these fraud allegations. Listen here.
We are a state that chooses not to let people go hungry or homeless or uneducated. However, that generosity has been taken advantage of by an organized group of fraudsters and criminals. Any amount of fraud is too much. That's why over the last several years, we've made many systematic changes to state government to both detect fraud and hold those accountable after it happened. Year after year, we brought new ideas to the legislature to stay ahead of the evolving tactics, and they are evolving.
So he's making the argument that the tactics are evolving faster than their ability to, get their arms around them. Do you buy that?
No, I don't buy any of what he's saying. First of all, they asked the Attorney General there, Keith Ellison, if he would have done anything different. He said no. This didn't happen on day one. This happened over a long period of time. Those are the allegations. And he reads this statement like, oh, our state chooses to be generous and help the downtrodden and the needy and educate our kids. Every state does that. Every state does that, but they don't have the waste, the fraud, the abuse, the open borders that allow these people to come in and take advantage of Americans like this. He's a sanctuary state. It's sanctuary cities, so ICE can't get in there and do the work that they need to do. So nobody's buying it, Governor. And then to utter the word Donald Trump as if he had anything other than cleaning up the mess that this guy made. Donald Trump has nothing to do with this. His words are not dangerous. He's pointing out the obvious. He wants to deport the people and hold other people accountable. That's what should happen. Instead, this governor stands up like a clown show and says, we're trying. No, you're not. You're failing.
So the Attorney General points out just how easily this fraud was committed. I want to play you quickly what they said.
I think you generally have a sense that your government is going to be fighting for you and spending your money just generally okay, and that was absolutely not the case. When I was on the Feeding Our Future case, the big thing that jumped out to me was honestly how easy this fraud was to do. They were just making up these PDFs, putting false names into Excel sheets. I could do that in 5 minutes on a computer if I had absolutely no conscience.
With less than 30 seconds left, it makes you wonder if they knew this was going on.
You hear the state employees and the whistleblowers, that's who you need to pay attention to, because there are some good people in the system who pointed out the problems, and it doesn't sound like they responded in time.
All right, Jason Chaffetz, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's be crystal clear. This alleged fraud scandal in Minnesota is a Democrat-made disaster. New evidence shows that millions of taxpayer dollars meant to feed hungry children were allegedly stolen and spent on luxury vehicles, expensive homes, vacations, and designer goods. And this all happened under a Democrat governor, with Democrat-controlled agencies in charge of oversight. Minnesota is run by Democrats. The governor is a Democrat. The bureaucrats approving these payments were appointed by Democrats. So when Democrats say nobody saw this coming, Americans aren't buying it. According to Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams, investigators uncover how scammers allegedly exploited federal child nutrition programs Democrats constantly expand while ignoring accountability. Red flags were raised. Whistleblowers warned officials. And yet, the money kept flowing. Former Congressman Jason Chaffetz nailed it when he said this represents a total collapse of oversight. Republicans have warned for years that Democrats push massive government programs without safeguards, creating the perfect environment for fraud. While Democrat politicians were busy patting themselves on the back, scammers allegedly lived like celebrities, using money meant for children who actually needed food. And here's the media double standard. If this fraud had happened under a Republican governor, Democrats and the press would be demanding resignations every night. But because Democrats are in charge, the story gets buried. Let's ask the questions Democrats don't want answered. Why didn't the Democrat governor intervene sooner? Why were audits delayed? Why were warning signs ignored? The truth is uncomfortable for Democrats. Their big government policies don't just waste money. They hurt vulnerable Americans. Now Republicans are stepping in, demanding investigations, prosecutions, and real accountability. Because stealing from hungry children isn't just fraud. It's a moral outrage, and it happened on the watch of Democrat leadership. This is why Republicans fight for oversight. This is why we demand transparency. And this is why Americans are losing trust in Democrat-run governments. We will keep exposing the truth, no matter how much Democrats want it buried. God bless America.